Testing, testing. All right, I think we're going to go ahead and get started. Uh, Thanks everyone who has made it in so far. Hopefully, a few more will join in a few minutes. But just wanted to take an opportunity to test out the streaming feature. I've never done this before, but the plan is to do a darkest timeline run. I'm probably going to do a difficulty 3 to start out with, and just sort of explain some of my uh, choices and kind of how I approach going through darkest timeline. And then, depending on how much time we have, I may take some questions or do a diff 5 run as well. So, looking forward to hanging out with you guys for a little bit. Definitely feel free to send some chats, and I'm going to get started with one of these darkest timeline runs now. I guess we can look at my timeline journal first. I know there was a couple of missions that I wanted to um, get done. I guess I have all of my extreme trials to do except for the Legion of Doom. Ace Mastery, so we could do that one on Diff 5. We could do Arkham's Most Wanted and see if we can get through that one. The couple who are watching, I don't know if there's anything that you are specifically looking for, like if there's a certain team comp that you want me to try, I'm happy to do that. If not, we may do the Arkham's Most Wanted for the difficulty 5. Twist of Fate, we need Justice League Dark. That one might be easy to do. And we still need to get our Nemesis done for Merciless. I think I've had Devastator pretty much every time at this point. Okay, so let's just get started with a difficulty 3. I think that's where things kind of ramp up a little bit. There's definitely it's a lot easier to do difficulty 3, I think, than um, people make it out. There's sort of, I guess let's just go ahead and jump in. So the first thing is, you're going to have to start selecting an epic champion, which makes it a little bit harder the first couple of battles, but it's really a non-issue. I typically, my favorite setup here is Wonder Woman, because she's one of the best tanks in the game. She's obviously the best uh, legendary tank. And then I'll typically go with Green Arrow, and Mira. If for higher difficulties, this selection is going to depend on um, which tags that you select. So obviously, like if you were to do a Legion of Doom comp, you would want to run Black Adam, and you would probably look at doing Killer Croc as well. For Arkham's Most Wanted, you might grudgingly choose Catwoman here. I hate to do that, but it does get you that Arkham synergy right off the bat. But typically, you're okay choosing just characters that you're comfortable with here, and then you can kind of build around that. So I am going to choose Black Adam as my fourth. And then for Epic, I typically like to have that second tank to start out with, and he's really just kind of sacrificial. But we'll grab one of the cops and confirm. And I guess I should, for anyone who watches this video after the live stream's over, I know there's just a couple of you guys in here now, but just for anyone's benefit in the future, I'll just kind of talk through some of these things. I know I already have a video out where I've sort of discussed a lot of these things, but I can go through them again. So you're going to be presented with these crisis checkpoints, and you have a dark crisis and an infinite crisis. The dark crisis is always sort of your easy mode, and then infinite crisis is going to be a little bit harder, but it typically gives you slightly better rewards. You can see here that on the dark crisis, the champions that you have a better chance of summoning legendary champions at the end of the match than you do mythics. But with the infinite crisis, you have a better chance, or you have equal 50-50 chance at summoning mythic versus legendary. You can also see that if you win this infinite crisis, you get for 3 turns after this, you'll get an attribute boost for all champions, which is the lifesteal 7.5%. So it's not that great, but it's, I think, much better to go that route. And, in difficulty 3, you don't really have to worry too much about losing these matches. Let's go ahead and choose this. Later on, you'll see, I don't know how often it happens in difficulty 3, but in difficulty 4 and 5, you end up getting a lot more debuffs. So you really have to watch when you're choosing which Infinite Crisis or Dark Crisis to go into. You really want to be careful to read everything. I've seen a few people on Discord getting upset that they couldn't take certain characters into battle, and that is something that will happen. You have to make sure that you're looking at those debuffs. So we'll just auto deploy here. Should put our tanks out front, and then we can fight this one. A little bit scary having that Superman jump out there, but we're able to take care of business. Okay, you can see almost lost one character here. I'm not really concerned. I mean, our Wonder Woman did get pretty low, but I think we should be all right. So typically I'm looking here to see if we get a character that could be useful to switch out for that epic that we had to throw in. Definitely really nice to see the extra 5 stars on the Wonder Woman, so I'm happy with that. We can decide if we want to put Killer Croc in as a second tank, or if we want to throw in Cyborg. And I'm tempted to heal here, but I'm also curious about the retrocognition, and I think I'm going to choose that one. The other thing that I'm looking for here is, and it's not an issue right now, but with the what you want to look at how the lines go. So you can see that if we choose the Dionysian Pit, we'll have access to all 3. If we choose the retrocog, we'll have access to all 3. But we're really looking, I'm trying to look like 2 or 3 rungs ahead and see like what I'm going to go after. I definitely want to be able to summon champions up here. So that's something that I'm a bit concerned about. Um, I actually think I'm just going to play it safe here and heal our Wonder Woman up, and then we can decide which one of these we want to go after. So, a tribute boost for Arkham's Most Wanted. We have nothing, and then we have Legion of Doom champion star up by 3. So we have our, I believe, the Black Adam and then Killer Croc that would star up by 3, which could be helpful to go with here. I definitely want to choose one of these that's going to go to the summon, so we're actually going to have to do the Legion of Doom one, or at least that's the one that makes the most sense for us. Sebastian, yeah, I it's been a long journey. I just started making videos for DC Dark Legion probably a couple of months ago. She kind of came out of nowhere, but a few people convinced me to jump into this game, and I'm really enjoying it. So happy to be here. Looks like we got Tavoka and Unstable in the house. So um, yeah, I haven't tried using the clown tank, but I might end up giving him a shot at some point. With maybe if I do a Diff 5 run, we can do that. Looks like Unstable's here. Um, yeah, Unstable. I'm doing a difficulty 3 run. I don't know if you came in right at the beginning or not, but I'm doing difficulty 3 just to try to, at least for posterity's sake, to give people kind of an idea of what it looks like on higher difficulties. But the video that I made a few days ago, or maybe it was a couple weeks, I did, I think, Diff 1. So want to give people a little bit of a taste of some of the harder difficulties, and then I got to start working on my difficulty 5. So I've got a lot of those extreme difficulty ones I got to work through. All right, let's see. So we'll just take this guy out, and I'm going to run Killer Croc on this one. Oh, we got a community manager in the house. Hey, Helen. Good to see you. I guess you're just getting started for the day. I think it's about 9:30 or 10 in the morning for you. So happy to have you here. Now, I should probably pay attention, even though it's difficulty 3. I just had this running on auto, but you do have to be careful. I've seen some situations where you end up losing a character or two if you're not careful. Okay, so we got those extra stars on the Legion of Doom characters, and I love these recruit randoms. Typically, you end up getting a couple of characters that are worthwhile. Oh, so you're okay. 13 hours ahead? Are you? I guess maybe you're West Coast, or I guess Western on the western side of the country. Not sure. Um, Helen, yeah, you have to. So you have to use the goons on difficulty 3 and above. They force you to use them for the first couple of. I guess like when you first start out, like when you pick like the selector, and then I sub them out immediately, like the first chance I get. So this is, I guess, where we have to kind of decide if, like, which direction we want to go. I mean, I always lean towards the Justice League because there's a lot more characters to summon there. We do have the 5 white star cyborg. We could also go Legion of Doom and see what we can come up with there. So I've been enjoying playing the Legion of Doom run. So let's recruit Legion of Doom and see what we get, and maybe we can kind of build that one up. Okay, so we got the Sinestro and Deathstroke. That's really good. Killer Croc, I'm not sure whether I will invest in him or use him in some of the later stages, but it is good to have some extra stars on him, so that'll make him beefed up. So here's a fun one. We're definitely not going to heal. a lot of people are kind of scared to do the Challenge of the Lords or the Book of Destiny. I think that they're actually really helpful if you play it the right way. We don't have a lot of money. I would like to maybe have a chance to get something here, so we're going to roll the dice, and we'll go with Challenge the Lords of Chaos. So I'm going to advance, and yeah, you did think of recruiting them as disposable. Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for them. But typically I just kind of throw them in just to have something there. So this is interesting, and I mean I'm sure there's some like back end data on like what would be the best choice here, but I think it's kind of like it says low risk, low return to spend 200 harmonic crystals for a chance to win 500. But I feel that like a chance to win 500 means you're not guaranteed it. So if I spend those 200 and lose them, that's actually really high risk. So I like doing the 60 typically. Um, and the key here, I had 268, so I knew if I spent the 60, it's not going to prevent me from healing if I want to do that, like if that's my only choice. So we'll go into Planet Ventura and see what we can buy. Sometimes there's like the 100 or 200, so we do have one of those choices here. So we can beef our team up a little bit, which I think is probably going to be important here going into the last piece of this. We have Sinestro and we have Deathstroke, but they're 0 stars. Um, so Helen says it's the chance to win is higher the more you spend. Yeah, I assumed the chance was definitely higher. I just didn't want to lose all of my my harmonic crystals on the off chance. I mean, I have the worst luck in the world, so I mean, I think this is probably our best choice just to get a little bit of beefiness on our squad. This is for all champions, so this will help out our Wonder Woman as well. So I'll go ahead and purchase that one. Okay. Yeah, I'm not the biggest gambler, but sometimes you have to do that to win in this game mode. It's this first round is always a little bit it's that like it can be dicey. You really have to be careful. And at this point, like I'm a little bit curious. I think we should be okay with this lineup. We're gonna see what happens. I'm curious how this cyborg holds up. And I will be ready to restart as well. We're losing our killer croc, I think, but we should be able to beat this. Yeah, I'm definitely I'm not a big gambler when the stakes are super high. If I were to if I were spending if you had to spend like real money to do these darkest timeline runs, like if it cost $1 to do it, I'd be a lot less willing to roll the dice on some of these things, but you got to do what you got to do. All right, so this is our first champion selector, and we don't have any of these yet, so we get two of them. I think the things I'm thinking about are we need a decent healer at some point down the road, and we definitely want to take Scarecrow since we're trying to do this Legion of Doom comp. So we're going to take Scarecrow, and then I think we just take Ivy, even if we don't get to use her too much right now. So we'll take those. We do get the heal to start out with. I'm not too worried about having lost Killer Croc, so I'm going to just heal, take the team heal here. And let's see what we got in the next rung. And again, I'm looking up here to try to figure out what's going to. I'd like to get that recruitment up front. So we should be okay with any of these. All right, so one that's Justice League champion star up by 3, and then one that is upon recruiting a duplicate champion, the champion will gain 3 additional stars. That's actually pretty compelling. I think we'll do that one, and then we'll do the retrocognition, and then one of these two on the left up here. Yeah, unstable. Unfortunately, I had to send Killer Croc back to the swamps of Louisiana, but I think he'll be okay there. I didn't notice, and I think this gets a lot of people, but we can't use the um, couple of these champions here. So um, let's see. We definitely need some healing. May have to do some restarts here. All right. In case it wasn't abundantly clear, I'm definitely not some sort of pro at this game mode. I feel pretty comfortable with it now, but I think sometimes we all make choices that that we regret. We did okay there. I think that defense that we chose helped out a lot. Okay, now this was really solid. We just got 10 total stars on our Deathstroke, so that's going to make him super super strong. Once you get Deathstroke to 5 blue stars in this mode, he starts getting ridiculous. Especially once you get into purple and yellow stars, he can like jump back to the backside and just like delete everybody. Let's go with retrocognition, like we were talking about. And this is always unfortunate. We don't. This doesn't really benefit anybody. I mean, we're gonna take the Justice League Dark just because it will benefit our Wonder Woman, and then okay, so we do get 30% discount on vanishing points. That will be helpful. And we're gonna take our. Let's see what we can do. We definitely want to use Scarecrow. Hopefully we can get some stars on Scarecrow. And let's throw Ivy in and see how that works. So we are getting the first Legion of Doom synergy, which is quite nice. Getting that energy restoration is really great. You're gonna be popping more ultimates for your Sinestro and Deathstroke. Let's do that. So far, I think we're trending pretty well. We definitely need to get a few stars on some of the Legion of Doom characters, but I think we should be okay to beat the final boss. I really want to get some stars on Scarecrow because having him super beefed up in the front line makes it really difficult to lose. Well, that's really great. So we got a lot of Legion of Doom here. We ended up getting our Deathstroke to 3 yellow stars. That's going to be very solid. And then let's pray for Legion of Doom on this recruit. Awesome. Be tempted to take the metahuman. Metahuman is always a pretty solid choice, but we're gonna go with Legion of Doom. Great, perfect. So we just got our Sinestro and the Scarecrow up to 5 white stars. That's really gonna help out a lot. And someone told me, I'm not sure about this, so maybe one of you guys will know this. Someone said that the each champion's skills work even without their stars in this game mode. I don't know that that's true, but let me know in the comments or in the chat if you have confirmation on that. I thought it still worked the same as normal, where you had to have all 5 white stars in order for the skills to work like normal, but I haven't paid enough attention, I guess, to see that. Okay, so I guess let's see what we've got. This is the first opportunity to. Oh, hey, Sovereign. Good to see you. Yeah, Helen, if you could figure that out, that would be really interesting to know. I would be curious. I assumed it just worked like like typical. So I guess we have to decide if we want to do this Book of Destiny. I really don't think there's a reason to heal, so I think we're going to do it, and then you guys will get to see if we have any nasty debuffs here. Again, a lot of people are like super scared of Book of Destiny because there's this debuff feature, and so we get to see it play out here. So we have 494 harmonic crystals, which is pretty solid. Um, all champions lose 50% HP. Like basically, the way I view this is the immediate next step that you're going to take after you leave this screen is you're going to go into the Ventura and Planet Ventura, and you'll be able to just buy the health back. So it's really like there's no downside here. Like, yeah, you won't be able to spend those harmonic crystals on maybe more beneficial items, but you will be able to heal yourself back. And in this case, we really need more stars on our Legion of Doom. So we're going to take this one, and that's great. So we just maxed our Deathstroke out. We got our Sinestro to blue and our Scarecrow as well. I think this team is looking really good. So let's go into Planet Ventura. And we definitely need to heal up. And it's nice that we have the discount, so I didn't even think about that, but we're able to do this for a little bit cheaper. I'm going to heal up, and then we've still got a little bit of money left. Hey, thanks for coming by, Helen. I'm looking to do this a few more times. I don't know how often I'll be able to stream, but I would like to at least once a week jump in and do some Darkest Timeline. Maybe even like have some people on to coach them through it or walk them through it as a team. And so we'll see what we have in store. But really glad to have you come by. All right, so I think we may end up buying the Sinestro shards here. Actually, no, we're taking this. So I love seeing this one. It's at a pretty good discount here, but the ability to boost your attack by 80% is kind of wild. I don't see how that hasn't been buffed yet. Like I don't know why they added it in, but really helpful for your Diff 4 and Diff 5 runs for sure. Like I said, I'm tempted to choose some of these other items, but I think we got to go with the attack. Let me know what you would do here. So obviously we have the Legion of Doom attack that we can increase. We could take the Sinestro shards, and then that one's not really great. See, like this attribute boost for all champions, 20%. That's definitely not helpful. Well, it is, but not compared to the 80% for our Legion of Doom characters. We're gonna take that one, and then we're broke. So let's see how we do in the crisis checkpoint too. And you can see like because we got all those stars on those characters, it should be a cakewalk at this point. It's 475k to 201. Okay. Unstable, how you doing with your darkest timeline runs? You just trying to get some of the daily quests done or what? One thing I will say is I love the fact that you can kind of do some testing for yourself. You don't have to have whales to do it for you. You can do some testing on kind of what the champions are capable of. And I'm noticing like uh, Scarecrow is really good at high stars. So we only have him at 5 blue here, but you get him up a little bit higher and you can put some attack on him. He's pretty bonkers. I think I've seen some people use the Prometheum claws on him, which is interesting. I used mine on Superman, but we're gonna take Sinestro here for sure. And I mean, there's really no reason to pick any of the others. I think we'll take the Lex. He's not. One thing I've noticed with Lex also is that he's not really that great at low stars, but I've been trying to do a little bit of testing with him. I just unlocked him on my account as well, so I'm trying to get some stars on him. Okay, so now we have to choose. What I'm tempted to do here is skip all of the fight like all the battles on the right hand side, and just go with the heal and then the two recruits. So it's kind of a waste to do the heal, I think, but to get the two recruits, like we're my goal or like my strategy is to try to get as many stars as you can on the characters. And so like I don't want to fool with doing those battles and not getting what I want. I think we have a better chance of getting a couple more stars on some of these characters by going on the left hand side. So curious how you guys see this fork in the road, like how you would do it. But that's kind of my thought process. So we'll go ahead and heal. And then recruit. And this is an easy choice. We'll take Legion of Doom. That's really helpful. Don't really care about the Captain Cold. I may try to, as I progress with the leveling in Darkest Timeline and maybe start getting a little bit bored, or if I get a lot of the challenges taken care of, I really want to do some testing with characters like Captain Cold because I want him to be good. He's just not. So curious how how like a full Legion of Doom team would pan out rather than just using like a fifth non-Legion character instead of Captain Cole. But let's recruit again. Okay, so we finally got kind of one that doesn't really help us that much. I think we'll go with Energy Wielder. I think there's a couple of Energy Wielders that would be beneficial. I'll do that. Yeah, Sinestro being Energy Wielder helps, and then that's really nice to get some stars on our Ivy. And then we can go with the Retrocognition. And okay, I don't really use this one a lot. If a champion falls in battle, their HP will be restored to its pre-battle levels afterwards. It is probably more helpful in the later stages. So definitely worth considering depending on what your other options are here. I don't really care to do a tribute boost like Spiritual Amp for Justice League Dark. I mean, maybe if we had Zatanna, that might be a little more compelling if we were doing a JLD setup. But we're going to go with the ability boost, so we'll get the extra crit damage. And then here, I'm tempted to go with the Challenge of the Lords. Um, Usually, like if I have pretty low money, I'm trying to roll the dice and see if I can get that 500. I think 500 is the max that you can get. There's a couple of ways of doing it. Like I like the heads or tails, because at least you're getting a 50% chance. But we'll spend the 60. Of course, we lose. And let's see what we can buy. So we can get a little bit of defense here. We can spend all our harmonic crystals and get some extra crit rate. Or we can get stars on our Lex. I think it shouldn't really matter. I'm going to choose the extra defense in men. Hey Sovereign, thanks for dropping by, man. Really appreciate it. Good to see you. Hope your video editing is going well. Definitely shoot me a DM later and let me know what you're working on. Good talking to you. Yeah, so we should steamroll this. Okay. Okay. Well, that's difficulty 3. Pretty happy with that run. We ended up getting some pretty decent characters to help us out. I think Deathstroke really is or has been one of the MVPs for me with running these Legion of Doom Darkest Timeline runs. Deathstroke and I mean obviously like Sinestro is pretty good, but I just love seeing Deathstroke jump to the back line and just delete people. Really fun. All right, so let's try a difficulty 5. I'm curious whether we'll be able to get all the way through. I've won most of my difficulty 5 runs, but I have had some issues on a couple of them. Forgot which one I said I was going to go after, so let's go back in here and look. I think we'll try an Arkham. It's a bit difficult. Okay, so we'll need 3 Arkham's Most Wanted. I think we try that. I've got about 20 or 30 minutes left. I think we can. Oh. There we go. All right, so yeah, we're going to go with Arkham's Most Wanted. Okay, and I guess I can explain this now. So when you when you choose a specific tag to start out on the higher difficulty levels, it basically drops the attributes down of all the other characters in the pool. And we chose Arkham's Most Wanted, which is a pretty tough one because pretty much all the legendary characters are not Arkham's Most Wanted. You have just this Catwoman here. Um, and I've thought about this a little bit. I think it almost makes sense just to skip the Catwoman and just try to fish for some of the other characters. I know I'm going to go with Wonder Woman. I know I'm going to go with Mira because we need a good tank. We need a good healer. Even with the like lesser attributes, we can still make this work. And I'll talk about how to do that and do it safely when we get there. I think the we know we're going to have to do a couple of these. Maybe I'll go with I think is it this one, Taivoka? I can't remember which one of the clowns you were talking about. No, it's this. This is the guy with the bat, the orange jumpsuit. I think we'll give him a shot, and one of the supports, and then we have to choose a third. So I think we'll go with we're gonna go with Black Adam. Okay, so basically, see what we have. So, tribute boost for Arkham's Most Wanted champions, HP 20%. So, I mean, that's nice. The problem is there's a decent chance that we could just lose right off the bat here. It hasn't happened to me yet, and I've tried these where you're going in and you have a little bit lower attack. But the safer route is just to choose the regular Dark Crisis. Um, the issue here, so we can see Justice League champions cannot be deployed in battle in the next battle. So we have to kind of work around that. Like it's basically I was talking smack about you. Um, I was asking about the which one of the clowns to choose, which one had the bat. I think I figured it out. Um, but basically, so the issue is like if you do this one, you're pretty much guaranteed to make it to the next round. You're going to hamstring yourself if you have a bunch of Justice League characters. The issue for us here is if we choose this one, the next battle we do, we're not going to be able to use our Wonder Woman. So you have to you have to play around that, and that could be difficult depending on which champions we draw coming up here. But I think the smartest play is probably to go with the one where we're guaranteed to win it. So that's what we're going to go with, and we'll just have to deal with the fallout from it. Okay. I wasn't paying attention. I think I'm going to run this one not on auto. I saw that Wonder Woman died. I guess it's not wanting to. Did it too far ahead? We still lost the Wonder Woman, so we'll have to deal with that later. It's the not orange one. Okay, so I picked the wrong one. All right, well, it's fine. It's not gonna matter. Okay, so we did get our Catwoman anyway. And I think I think the right thing to do would be to revive our Wonder Woman or heal. I'm not really sure. Problem is, we're not going to be if we even if we revive the Wonder Woman, we're not going to be able to use her in the next round anyway. Let's say we just heal our other characters. All right, and then I'm obviously going to be going for this recruit champion up here, which prevents us from doing the Dark Crisis, which we wouldn't want to do anyway, probably because of this attribute reduction. Let's see, so I think we end up taking the crit rate one because we're not going after Justice League Dark. See what we can do. This is really dicey. I mean, this is kind of what you're up against with RNG, I think, on some of these runs is you just never know what's going to happen. Let's change our deployment. And yeah, this is going to be interesting. I'm really worried about this Superman. And these Raven matches are really tough because as soon as Superman gets super low, Raven's most likely going to warp or teleport him out. So I'm definitely a bit concerned. Hmm, there we go. Very wonky. All right. Well, okay. There we go. I see this Raven. She's sneaky. Okay, so we didn't lose anybody there. Let's see if we get anything decent. All right, so we got our Joker and Ivy, so that's really great. That's definitely a step in the right direction, and hopefully we're going to get some good luck here with recruitment. Okay, so one thought is typically what you can do when you're not getting the ability to recruit the champions that you want to recruit is you can choose one of the other sections that might still help you a little bit. Like if you can get Sinestro really high or Deathstroke or something else, like one of the characters where like yeah you're going to have a negative attribute to them, like that you can build those attributes back up over time. So with Legion of Doom, or excuse me, not Deathstroke, gosh, Scarecrow is actually Arkham's Most Wanted too. So we can do the Legion of Doom and kind of like pray that we get Scarecrow out of that, or maybe we get Deathstroke or Sinestro who might be able to help us. I mean, we need all the help we can get at this point. So we're gonna choose this one, and there. Okay, so that's really helpful. So we get the Scarecrow, we get a Sinestro. Like we should have chose Legion of Doom here, but it's fine. Okay, and then kind of the choice between these three. Book of Destiny is going to be that it could really hamstring you to choose Book of Destiny and get like a bad debuff or something like that. But as we talked about earlier, it's kind of high risk, high reward. I think the best play here would be to challenge the lords. If we lose, we shouldn't lose everything. So let's take that one. Maybe it's a heads or tails. Okay, I always go heads, and we got a little bit. So maybe we can make that work in Planet Ventura. Okay, we got a lot of Arkham choices. Can't I'm not really looking at starring any of these guys up. So what's our options? So we can do HP boost. We can do defense, uh, resistance, and HP. So that's really not that helpful. I think the either the HP boost or the defense boost is probably going to be the better choice here for us. Um, Let me know if you know this either in the chat here or if you're watching this as the VOD later. Let me know if you have any idea like if you choose if you go with defense. Like I'm curious what the conversion is. Like how much HP are you getting from 80% defense? But I think it makes more sense to go with a defense in men. We're going to take that. We definitely need all the help we can get with our frontline champions. So that's what we go with there. And leave. I really think this is going to be it's gonna be close. And I like to do a lot of these battles on manual here, especially since you're kind of working with less than ideal situation. Um, I don't really care for the Catwoman, but I think that Catwoman is probably better than the Deathstroke. Don't know. We're getting the 3 boost here for effect accuracy. Let's just see what happens when we throw in the Deathstroke. I think we should be okay. The Deathstroke got destroyed. We should be okay. Get past that Dr. Fate. There we go. And we should be able to heal one of our next stops. Okay, so we get 3 choices. We're definitely going to take Joker. We'll take Scarecrow. And I think we take Ivy. I am tempted to take either Two-Face or Penguin. And I suppose Bane's an interesting choice as well, but we just don't have any stars on them, and we really have to make choices that are going to bolster our roster as much as possible. The more stars we can get on existing champions, to me, makes a lot more sense. So we're going to take these 3. It's the safer play. All right. And then We're 100% taking the Dionysium pit, and we'll heal. Okay, so Dark Crisis should be simple. We should be able to do this one. Okay, so duplicate champion, you get 3 extra stars. That's a really nice one, and we can take either one of these choices afterwards. But we have this Legion of Doom champion. How did I miss that? Was that? I think that was from the boss last time. So that's going to be that's going to hurt maybe a little bit. Let's go in here and just see what we can do. Yeah, so I think I probably should have chosen the easier play. I think we're actually going to lose this one. I really don't know how we're going to get past this. All right. Well, we'll give it a shot a couple of times, and if not, maybe I have some time to do a third. Oh, hold on, let's back out. I'm running my mouth and not paying attention. All right. I'm gonna throw it on auto and see what they will do. Catwoman's a little low, but I guess the one good thing about this setup is we have 2 healers, so it should keep everyone alive. And then technically, Flash should be giving Joker his ultimate. Let's see who he gives it to. Yeah, so that's definitely helpful. Let's see. We should be okay. We're gonna lose Flash, it looks like. Okay. Well, we made it through. That was a miracle. But like that's something that you have to look for. And I mean, again, I'm not perfect. I missed that. I should have paid more attention on the selection screen for the Final Crisis, but you want to be looking out for that. Like that's a really good example of how easy it is to screw up. And like I probably should have taken the easier route. Went with the Dark Crisis instead of the Infinite Crisis. Um, yeah, it does make a lot of sense. The whales running Flash. I mean, like we go. I think we go back and forth on Flash's utility or like his usefulness, and like he's definitely he's not an S tier character or anything like that. But in certain comps or like with certain teams, and especially if you have a bunch of money to throw around and you can just like build Flash for the heck of it, he's really solid to be able to pump a lot of damage out with a character like Joker. Probably like Sinestro in a Legion of Doom team. Um, I'm curious how you would play that. Like he has so much utility for like anytime that you're trying to build your team comp around a character who needs to get their ult off as many times as possible. Definitely interesting. Like if you're, what I've always said about Flash is if you're playing him on manual, he's like he's pretty solid. Again, not S tier, but he's a pretty solid A tier character if you're playing on manual. But I think that's the limitation. A lot of people play these games on auto, and it just makes it a lot more difficult. Okay, we did get our Scarecrow up a little bit higher. Yeah, I think you're right. And I mean, with Superman, like the appeal of using Flash is that his the I guess the tag synergy of Flash being Justice League. And is he what other tag synergies does Flash have? Off the top of my head, I can't remember. So okay, yeah, metahuman. So I mean, like you can run some pretty decent comps, I think, with Flash and Superman for sure. All right, so to get my head in the game here, I definitely want to hit that recruit node up top. So we're going to have to deal with one of these infinite crises, and I want to make sure that I don't do anything stupid. We will definitely go with retrocognition here. I mean, we couldn't use our best characters in the last round, so they should all be relatively healthy, other than Joker. Okay. So Arkham's Most Wanted champion star up by 5. That's where I'm immediately leaning to. Justice League Dart, we don't really care about. Like, it's nice to get these mythics, but I never find that I'm able to use the mythic choice. It's always like for a tag that I don't care about. We'll do the Star Ascension. That's going to be really helpful for us. And let's check these infinite crises out. Crises. A tribute boost for all champions lifesteal. That's actually fairly helpful. I do like lifesteal in this game a lot. And then the discount on vanishing points. I mean, we really haven't been spending a lot. Um, I think I need some Baja Blast to get me through this. I'm not sponsored, but if I got a Mountain Dew Baja Blast sponsorship, I would not turn it down. Um, I think we'll go with the lifesteal node. Okay. I don't know why I hit auto deploy. I think that ends up still being, well, let's take the Catwoman out for Flash. That was fun the last time. I mean, I think we're in decent shape. 306 versus 186. We should be fine. And I'm just going to leave this in auto as well just to get through this a little bit faster. Tavoka, have you worked on the spreadsheet at all today? I know you said you were looking at doing some changes to it. All right. Joker's looking pretty solid. All right, so we will. I mean, there's nothing really great here. I'm just going to go with a metahuman. Okay, nothing super helpful. I think we will do the challenge as well. I'm feeling lucky. Got 300 the last time we did this. And I know Helen was saying that the 200 gives you a better shot at the 500, but I just don't believe it. I mean, I believe it, but you gotta go high risk. I didn't get it. It's fine. Oh, I forget it's still like snowing like crazy where you're at. Are you like how many feet do you have right now? Like, would they cancel classes this week at all for like? I guess it would have to be a pretty rough storm for them to cancel classes. So we can get Batman stars. That doesn't really help. Yeah, I'm not a gambler. Definitely not. All right, that could be very helpful. Attack for all of our Arkham's Most Wanted. I think that's the one we have to go with. I mean, it could be helpful to upgrade Poison Ivy or Joker, but I think we need a little bit more attack on some of these characters. We're gonna go with that. I think we're still ahead. I guess they just delay opening so that they can salt the roads and push everything off so cars can get through. We got it is an event where I live if we get snow at all, and we ended up getting probably about maybe 4 or 5 inches here, maybe 6 in some places a few weeks ago, and it was the entire city shut down. Like actually, most of the southeast was shut down because of it. My family is like super south, and they ended up getting like a foot where they are. So it was pretty wild. Like there were a couple of my family members that couldn't work for like 3 or 4 days because of it. We just don't have like the salt and everything else here. Like we don't have the infrastructure for it. Okay, so this is going to be helpful. We can get our Scarecrow and Joker up higher, and I think we go ahead and we just keep leaning into these three as the core, and then like, I hate that we didn't invest in probably Two Face a little bit earlier, but it is what it is. All right. So we got a couple of new people in. Welcome to the channel. We're just doing a Darkest Timeline run. We're in difficulty 5, and I'm trying my best to screw it up, but somehow we've made it into the third round. So I think maybe we should heal. I wasn't paying attention at the end of that fight to see where our squad is. Let's see. We definitely we're kind of being forced to use Catwoman right now, and she definitely needs some help. So I think we'll end up taking the heal instead of the retrocognition. It's not going to stop us from still pursuing the recruitment. I'm definitely going to take that again. Okay, so we're healed up, and then um, I don't want to be prevented from using Legion of Doom champions in the next battle, because if we take that route, the next battle is going to be the end of the game, and we can't afford to do that. So we have to go with this Infinite Crisis, which again I think we're doing pretty good. So we'll choose that. We'll still get to recruit. I know I've seen a few different people say that they on Discord, and I've had some DMs like people saying that they are getting prevented from using characters and they didn't choose it. I think what happens is it gets them on that final battle. Like I guess the final battle for each section, the 3 sections. I think that's what's getting people. You got to watch out for that. Okay, so we'll definitely just keep going with this. Again, Catwoman's not ideal, but we got the Sinestro behind Catwoman, so it's I think maybe helping a little bit. I really like the kind of it feels like Rainbow Road uh, from Mario Kart. Okay, that's not really helpful. What's our Infinite Crisis? Tribute boost for Legion of Doom. It's decent, but I like the stars more. 2 Mythic Legion of Doom. I think that's pretty solid. Okay, we needed that. So our Scarecrow is pretty formidable at this point. I think we have a pretty good chance of beating this thing. Um, I'm restoring a vanishing point, gain 50%. So don't think we're going to use that one. Justice League attribute boost, that doesn't really help. Attribute boost for all champions for each Bat family champion owned. Okay, so we'll take that one for sure. Get a little bit of extra attack. And then we're going to go with the challenge again. 10th time's the charm. No, it's not. Whatever. Okay, what can we get this time? You see, if we hadn't have went with the challenge the lords, we could have started up our Ivy, but that's fine. We can get lifesteal. We can get HP, 2 HPs, 3 HPs. I think I'm gonna take the lifesteal, and then I'll take 2 of the HP percentage bonuses, which will give us the best chance of surviving. And then we'll do the final crisis. So, I mean, I think we have a decent chance of winning. You basically, like, when you start out on the third crisis point, I guess, or like the third round, you really want to have like 550 to 600,000 squad power, and if you have that, I think you have a reasonable chance of winning. Obviously, you need to have the right champion composition, but um, like I really hate that we had to use the Catwoman, but I mean we are getting a 4 spot bonus for Arkham, which gives us a decent amount of effect accuracy. We also get the Weapon Master because of her, so it's not the worst setup in the world. And I mean, I just Joker and the Scarecrow I think gives us a pretty decent chance of winning here. So let's see what it does on auto. I usually like to manual these. I'm just curious how, like, it seems like we're doing enough damage just right off the rip. We're going to lose our Catwoman for sure. But Sinestro should do a lot here. Yeah, easy. Easy money. Didn't even have to go into manual. So there's a Div 5 run. I think maybe there were a couple of things I could have played differently. I definitely should have paid more attention to the debuffs. Like that's definitely I think a key for these Div 5 runs. Like this Joker just slammed through, and Scarecrow can do a decent amount of damage. Like I was saying, Sinestro wasn't doing too much there. All right, timeline journal. I know we beat one of the missions. Okay, so we clear that. The one thing I was gonna mention, I don't think it will matter here, but once you hit this weekly XP limit, it doesn't prevent you from continuing to get like to increase your reward track. Like this XP limit doesn't like prevent you from earning more shards. I tested that last time through. I was scared I was gonna lose it, but I claimed everything anyway. So just a quick pointer there. All right, we got the Twist of Fate, so we cleared last level with at least 3 Arkham's Most Wanted. And I think that's it. These extreme trials are pretty tough. Like the ones that we would have been going for, you basically have to, you can't enter more than 2 Dionysium pits, and then you have to have extra harmonic crystals remaining, which it's pretty tough. I'm gonna have to start doing some of those. Maybe the next live stream I will try for some of those harder difficulty missions. But I'm still trying to clear out just the regular challenges right now. I still need to do an ace with Justice League Dark, which kind of saving that one because I know it'll be pretty easy. And then Legion of Doom. I definitely need to do one on that. So we'll see. Not going to be able to do those tonight. I was hoping to stream for just an hour, and I'm a little bit over that. I definitely enjoyed doing it. One thing that I let's jump into the Valentine's event really quickly because I wanted to point something out. I saw where someone said that if you use the double dice, it uses two of your dice and it charges you 10 gems. I don't think that's true. I was testing it out with some of my dice yesterday, and it didn't happen. So I want to do it on stream so we can see here. So if you click this one, it should just cost one dice and 10 gems. So let's do it, and we can watch. We have 5 up here. I'm gonna click. We have 4. It took 10 gems. So that is so that's the way it works. You basically you just need to spend you want to use this one. Like if you have a few gems extra, especially for free to play players, I think this is the way to go. Um, it's really not that much. Like it's pretty easy to earn 10 gems. I've been trying to power through this a little bit and like get around as many times as I can because you end up getting some really good rewards here. Huh, it went away. I guess that was XP. All right, that's it for the day. Let's see. Beat another quest. And I'll take you into the surprise store and we can talk about that as well. Okay, I need to do meta brawls. That'll be later tonight. But yeah, so I mean, this event is like really good for free to play players. I know like I guess it's difficult to earn the dice, but even if you don't spend a single dime on it, like you do get enough dice rolls over the course of the however many like 12 or 13 days that the event runs that you're gonna be able to get a few mythic champion shards out of it. And like to me, like I know a lot of people have like it's been a little bit contentious on the Discord server actually like that this event is very monetized, and I do think it's very heavily monetized. That's pretty obvious. But if you are efficient, if you do all of your daily quests every day, and you're using the free dice that they give you, you can definitely earn enough tickets to get a few mythic champion shards, and like that's not insignificant. I've I've definitely spent a little bit of money on the game in the last few days since we got the web store, and so I've been able to get a lot more. Like you can see, I've purchased I think 11 of the mythic champion shards. I've also started purchasing some of the world anvil fragments. But I just wanted to point out that there's definitely some really nice value that you get from doing this event. Um, I think that's really it. I don't know. I see we got a few people still watching. I I think I'm probably going to end the stream soon. I don't know if there's anything else anyone wanted to talk about or if anybody has any questions. Definitely happy to sit around for a few more minutes and chit chat. Anybody has any questions about their rosters or just wants to talk about things? Um, did my Interstellar Visitor. Waiting on, I think we've got Supreme Commander coming up tomorrow. So I've got 43 anvils that I'm waiting to use. I'm definitely going to be, I think I'm at pity for Deathstroke. So let's see. I was really disappointed to not get Scarecrow twice. Let's see. So we got Lex, Dart with Poison Ivy, Poison, and Poison Ivy after Scarecrow. So we should be at Pity for Deathstroke. I'm definitely going to wait to use my anvils off stream, so I hate to keep you guys in suspense, but I'll definitely be getting Deathstroke in a few days. Right now, my focus is on. I guess I could show you guys Zatanna before I log off. So I ended up getting Zatanna with my selector. I know like the smartest decision probably would have been to go with Superman. I have Superman at 3 blue stars. I probably should have taken him to 5 blue stars by picking him. And then obviously, like the second smartest choice would have been Sinestro. I think Sinestro is pretty broken in a couple of game modes, and really excited to see some of the bigger Legion of Doom teams out there. But I like Justice League Dark. I think Zatanna is going to end up being a really good character once Constantine is out, and she's also I think already showing some pretty good promise, even with teams like the Superman team. And so I've enjoyed having her. I got her to 5 white stars, so I have all of her abilities unlocked. Um, and I started putting some force into her as well, which is pretty nice. One of the things that I don't know if Tyvoke is still here. I think Dolganis made a comment about it. Like basically Zatanna not being as good as Cyborg because Cyborg gives he grants, I guess, a boost to just damage specifically, and Zatanna is attack. So I guess technically she is not going to boost Superman's damage quite as much, but she probably would be a lot better for spiritual. Um, I still think she's pretty solid. She's definitely maybe like a rung below, or like if Cyborg is like 1A, she's like 1B for supports. But definitely enjoying her kit. I love this clone. So there's kind of a if you yeah, Dolganis compares everything to Superman, but I think he had a pretty good point there. I mean, obviously, most people in the early servers are using their Superman comps, but the thing that I really like about Double Trouble is the if you and obviously this is difficult because you can't control the skills. But if she pops her ultimate and then she immediately creates the clone, that clone can deal spiritual damage equal to 200% of Zatanna's attack. So it ends up being a quite significant amount of extra DPS. Um, so something to keep in mind there. And then she selects an ally, including herself, with the highest attack. So like, if you're using Zatanna in a Superman comp, and probably even like any comp that includes Joker or Sinestro, she's gonna choose those characters over herself most likely. But it increases their attack by 15%. So again, like just these boosts make her definitively better than Batgirl in my opinion. And then obviously the spiritual amp. If this was spiritual amp that was granted to all characters and not just Justice League Dark, it would make her completely broken, I think. Um, I'm really, really excited to see Constantine come into the game soon, because I think this is like that's probably why I think they adjusted this talent. I forget Tyvoka probably has the sheet to kind of show like what it was before and what it is now, but pretty sure they didn't want you to run a comp that included, I don't know, some sort of busted combination. Like they're trying to discourage running four of one tag and then Superman, things like that. Like I don't know, maybe let me think of an example where you would run Zatanna, Doctor Fate, um, Constantine, Wonder Woman, and Superman, where you didn't even use a healer or something. I don't know if you were just trying to like burst damage down something. But that's Zatanna. I guess I could show you my combat cycle with her. I can just run the same comp that I was running earlier, um, just so you can see her in action. This was the best that I was able to do. I think I ended up getting about 12 million damage here. And I tried to run a bunch of different tests with this. I ran tests where I pulled Superman out and I put in Cyborg to see if I could get Zatanna or Joker's damage up a little bit higher. I ran a bunch of different comps. Zatanna seems to be the best support for this one, just because she's ramping spiritual damage. One thing I think I tried was Two Face's kit. Uh, I believe it gives a little bit of a boost to spiritual damage. So I tried to put Two Face in instead of Superman, so that I had five stationary or like ranged DPS, and I ended up doing way like significantly less damage doing it that way. So I'm just curious how this runs on auto. And I'm curious how you guys feel about these streams. I know this is kind of a weird time, so it's what like 11 p.m. my time here in the Eastern U.S. But I'm curious whether this is a good time for anybody, like whether you enjoyed going through the darkest timeline. I've been trying to kind of brainstorm what would be the best modes to try to display during a live stream and like go through. And I think darkest timeline offers a good opportunity for you to kind of see some of the gameplay and like see the characters in action. The game just simply doesn't have enough game modes where you can use the characters. Obviously, we have Meta Brawl, Training Sim, and Combat Cycle, but like Darkest Timeline kind of allows people to see some of these characters that have super high stars, and so that's kind of where my head is at with that. I had a couple of people reach out about coaching, and I definitely think that would be fun to do. I don't know whether any of you would be interested in doing that, or like not even necessarily coaching, but just like we could just kind of do like a dual run through on this. Like we can do it together. You can tell me kind of what you're thinking, and I can give you my advice or like how I would approach it. You see, we did 11.9. It's a little bit lower than what I did before. Let's look at the damage numbers. So you can see that Zatanna can hold her own. Like she's obviously like at five white stars, she's purely better than a two purple star Black Adam damage wise, which is quite interesting. Obviously, I don't think you can expect her to do as well as Joker or Superman, but kind of the idea is that she's going to pump their numbers up. But it's really nice to see that she's able to do 2.6 million as well. CC comp test might be fun to watch. Yeah, I think that could be fun. Just like just running through a bunch of different comps. Maybe I'll add that to the list, and we can think about doing some of that too. I'm definitely interested in hearing more ideas about kind of fun streams. I'm sure Unstable Gamer's probably going to be starting to stream the game a little bit more. So maybe maybe he and I can collaborate. And I don't know if he's still here. He probably had to step away, but um, definitely would love to see that. Donald asks, Sinestro five star white versus Superman 3-star blue. Which one do I prefer? Well, I chose Zatanna on this account, so I don't have Sinestro unlocked here. I actually do have Sinestro on one of my alt accounts, but um, I would say, I mean, it really depends on what kind of comp you're wanting to run. Like, do you enjoy Justice League? Are you wanting to build Legion of Doom for the future? Because I think that's something you're going to have to decide at some point. It's like, which what team do you want to kind of build your roster around? At some point, you're going to have to kind of focus farm. Once they give us some more ways to farm characters, like you're going to have to focus down and say, I want to get these characters. For example, with like all these mythic shards that we're able to start kind of buying things with, like the ones you can earn in the Valentine's event, and the ones you can get um, from Darkest Timeline. Like you kind of have to pick one character and say I'm going to go for them. So like, you know, I would say Sinestro can do a ton of single target damage. He's super strong. I would probably uh, choose Superman 3-star blue over a five white star Sinestro, honestly. But the thing is, like you should be running both of those in the same comp. Like if you have, I'm not sure like if you're asking whether you should select one of those or the other one, like to get to that point. Like, if you do you have Sinestro at 0 stars right now? Because that's kind of, I guess, maybe a different discussion entirely. But um, I would say, like, if you're asking, like, should you get a second copy of Sinestro to get him to five-star white? I would say definitely do that because you can run comps where you have Sinestro and Superman in the same squad, and you will do significantly more damage having Sinestro's stars or skills unlocked. So definitely, I would go with a 5-star Sinestro if you can. I had to make the difficult choice between getting my Superman to 5 blue stars or taking Zatanna, and I kind of did it because I want to build JLD long term. So, any other questions? I think we're going to call it here. Really enjoyed this. I'm going to try to start doing this on a regular basis, at least once a week. Sometimes I travel on the weekends, so I'm not sure if I'll be able to do this consistently. But the idea would be like 9:30 Eastern U.S. time on Sundays. We'll try to do like an hour and a half stream, and then as time permits, I'll try to do at least one other stream during the week. And definitely interested in hearing more from you guys on how I can make these better. Anything that I could do better, I'm definitely willing to try it. So thanks a lot. Definitely gonna end it here, and I'll look forward to talking to you all on the next stream or in the next video.